Just to play devil's advocate there, this is the same reporter that told us about the Ryan Tannehill phone calls that apparently never happened. So.
Supposedly didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Did somebody tell her that?
Right. Exactly. That's true.
That's true. Why I trust Spoon more than anyone, because you could tell Spoon is really locked in to Goody. When Spoon says something, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I've said this before. I kind of feel like it's Goody going, "Hey, Spoon, let the fans know this real quick." You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. Diana Rossini, God love her, they're just going, "Hey, yeah, let's get some false information out. Get Diana on the phone."
Right, and she's just getting info and trying to get it out. You know, a lot of reporters do that, right? You know, that's reporting. You know, you see something, you hear something, you got to say something, get it out. Hopefully, it's true. You know, even if it's not, it was true that something was said to her, though, like you're saying. You know, so. I don't know. I trust you're right. We got a handful of beat writers that we can go to and put a little bit more faith and credence into what they're saying. But you got to look at all this stuff seriously because you never know.
Yeah. Brent, thank you for the super chat, bub. Appreciate you. Greg Rice says, "Why is Spoon his nickname?" It's actually a story that was told when he was, I think he was like 8 or 9 years old.
I thought it was because Goody spoon feeds him information. Is that
when he was 8 or 9 years old? He killed a raccoon with a spoon. And that's like this. Yeah, it's just kind of taking on a nickname.
Wow.
I just made that up too. Completely.
I was going to say that's crazier than what I just suggested.
What I was thinking is Silverstein, Silver Spoon. Maybe somebody gave him that nickname early in his career. I don't know. I have no reason to believe that's exactly what. See, I just spread 2 lies there. There you go. Look at me, man. I'm tracking to be a media member, Tim. Look at me.
Here's the guy.
Exactly. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Tucker Kraft. This is cool. Bill Huber tweeted out, Packers tight end Tucker Kraft plans on channeling his inner Bavaro. That would be Mark Bavaro, who retired long before Kraft was born. We kind of talked about him yesterday. Tucker Kraft's a throwback, dude. There's no doubt about it, man. Just an old school tight end. I'm looking for him to have another big game too, man. We're going to get into some PFF statistics here in a minute I'd like to dive into before we wrap up the show. But I think Tucker Kraft, based off of what former players are saying watching the tape, and these are things that I'm not picking up on, but obviously people who have played in the league for a long time are picking up on, man. There's a lot of people high on Tucker Kraft, and I'm excited for what he's got in store the rest of his career for sure.
Absolutely. Tuck Norris is the man. I like that photo of him too. It looks like he's early for the Halloween party. He's got like half of his Batman mask on. There it is. I love it.
Jacob wears that to the club every Saturday night.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. The ladies love it, right?
All right, let's do this. Why don't we take a quick gander into what Brian Baldinger had to say about Xavier McKinney. Baldy's breakdowns on Twitter are just phenomenal, man. If you guys aren't following him, I remember listening to Baldy when I was a lot younger, as soon as he retired from football, and just hearing him break down the tape. He's so passionate about it. You never hear him give a hot take. He's never on Twitter or giving a take to get attention. It's just simply, here's what he's seen on tape. And he just brings such a positive approach, man. He's definitely one of the voices of the NFL that I respect so much. Let's see what he had to say about Packers free agent addition, safety, Xavier McKinney, obviously with 3 interceptions in 3 games already. Here we go.
I think the Packers knew exactly what they were getting when they signed Xavier McKinney from the Giants this offseason. You go back to Brazil right here, and they're running a Tampa 2 defense right here. All right, middle linebacker running with Devontae Smith right down the middle. All right, it's basically a 3 deep coverage, but you see the range that Xavier has. Like, he's got tremendous range. All right, and then he's got an instinct. He's got a feel for it. Like right here, Indianapolis is going to run this speedo route combination. It's popular against a cover 3 look. All right, just a post dig. And all Anthony Richardson is doing is reading Xavier McKinney. But McKinney can see the flight of this ball right here. And he's like, they're going to the dig. And he's in position right there when Anthony Richardson sails that ball. And then you just see this. This is 3rd and 1. They got a bunch of tight ends up there. Here he is, just cheating and creeping right here. 3rd and 1, just an instinct. Like,
another saying for Jacob on a Saturday night, cheating and creeping.
Okay, what if they run this pitch option out here and they get it to Trey Sermon? Like, who's going to be there to make this tackle for a 4-yard loss? Xavier McKinney. And then you get last week. Last week, here he is, 20 yards deep in a rotation to center field right here. And Will Levis is going to take this shot right down here to Calvin Ridley. You can see the range again. The range, the hands, the instincts, it's all there. Leads the league in interceptions right now. He was the perfect signing for the back end of this new Packer defense. Playing great football right now.
Perfect signing. I don't want to hear any Gutekunst slander ever. I don't want to
not tolerate it.
You know what is really noticeable to me when I watch tape on Xavier McKinney is I don't care where his assignment is. I don't care if it's a run play, a pass play. I don't care what the set is. He is a guy that never gets caught flipping his hips wrong. His feet are always in the right position. You never see him getting washed out of a play or guessing wrong. Physically, pre-snap to the snap to post-snap, he's always in alignment. It's almost like his feet never stop. Just physically playing the position very well. I mean, this is, if you've got young players out there, high school, youth sports level, this is the type of tape you want them watching if they're secondary players, because this is how you play the position. And that's why he was brought in here. And it's just awesome to see him doing it in the green and gold now.
Yeah. What's crazy about this play, and we talked about it on Chalk Talk, they're in Tampa too, guys. Xavier McKinney's responsibility is deep half left from the offense's perspective. And he gets over and picks the ball off on the seam. Like, he's just hell of a signing, like you said, by Brian Gutekunst, man. Just absolutely crushed it. So it's cool to see him continue to get the recognition he deserves. And McKinney, by the way, graduate of University of Alabama, right? Played there. They are boat racing the Georgia Bulldogs right now.
Oh, no.
Bama's number 4, Georgia's number 2, and Bama is somehow winning in the second quarter 28-7 if they hit this extra point. That's crazy. Wow. You know what I just did, Tim? The reason I was looking at my phone, I just went and put a little money on plus 18 Georgia. I think there's a little comeback in store here.
I certainly hope so. Got a lot of Georgia fans in my family, so
you tell them I'm a Georgia fan tonight, man. We got just a little
tough
bit
game. They're playing in Alabama, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so tough game on the road for the Bulldogs. Hopefully they make it interesting.
Well, started out +1 for Bama. The line has already went to plus 18, I think it was, at the bet I just placed.
Wow.
And just for those of you wondering, 4 for 4 on the day live betting in college football, man. I just love combing through and seeing a plus 21. I'll take them odds. And then, especially after halftime. And then, of course, Kentucky Wildcats earlier today, I had them plus 6.5 when I jumped in on that action. They end up beating the number 6 Ole Miss running Rebels. So love that for sure. This is cool. Lambeau Field tweeted this out, their Twitter account, just getting ready for the game tomorrow. Tim, look at them strapping that thing up. Emilio will be proud. Look at that. Emilio's at a wedding tonight, by the way. So that's why he's not in the house. But
I love it.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to see football at Lambeau Field tomorrow, man.
Shout out to our grounds crew, man. They're some of the best. They really are. That field always looks pristine.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we will be going live an hour and a half before kickoff. So 10:30 Lambeau time tomorrow. We're going to be doing a pregame show, okay? And then we'll, of course, be doing a postgame show as well. So you guys make sure you look for that link and you're subbed to the channel. Feel free to hit like in here right now if you're enjoying this content. We go live daily talking Packers pretty much 365 days a year. But we appreciate y'all making us a part of your evening here. So, yeah, Lambeau's going to be beautiful tomorrow. There's nothing better than October in Wisconsin. Obviously, we're right around the corner here. Where are we on the 28th now? 29th will be tomorrow. So, man, I love Green Bay, Wisconsin. There's nothing like it. Absolutely.
So beautiful, especially this time of year, like you said. I'm a fall baby. I love the fall football, and Wisconsin weather. You can't beat it.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. All right, let's look at some statistics here, man. And we're just going to kind of freelance this if it's all right with you, Tim. I'm going to pull up PFF for their statistics, okay? We're going to try not to key too much in on grades right now, and we just want to look at the stats, okay? And they do a good job with this, and I'll go full screen so everybody can see this a little bit better. And we'll just kind of jump around. If there's anything that you want to see specifically, Tim, you let me know, and we'll jump into any position, any key statistic that you want to see here, okay? So this is what I was talking about, stop percentage, run stop percentage. And again, Eric Wilson, 22.2%, leading the Packers. Lucas Van Ness, Tim, coming on strong, dude, 14.3% stop percentage against the run there for Lucas Van Ness. You love to see that on the edge. Carl Brooks on the interior, 12.5%. He's got 16 run defensive snaps, so pretty healthy sample there. Devontae Wyatt, 25 run defensive snaps, 12% stop percentage. So there you're seeing your two best run stuffers 3 weeks into the season here, right? And then you got LVN, like I said, at the edge position. Eric Wilson, again, he comes in on base snaps. And part of me wants him in there on the nickel, but I tell you, Edgerrin Cooper, the flash he showed last week, he's getting noticed a lot for his athleticism, no doubt. TJ Slayton, 8.6%. Preston Smith, 8.3%. Edgerrin Cooper, 6.7%. Quay Walker, 6.7%. Keyshawn Nixon, 6.3%. Really interesting there. That's what Coach Half was talking about. As you get to the bottom of the list here, you got Kenny Clark, 4.5%. Javon Buller, 3.6%. Kingsley and Igbare, 3.4%. Xavier McKinney, 3.3%. Rashawn Gary, 2.4. That low is crazy. That number's crazy low. 41 run defensive snaps. We showed you he's being chipped 5th most in the league by tight ends and running backs. So they're definitely looking to double him off the edge there in the run game as well. So just interesting to kind of see who's showing up in the run game here on defense, Tim. Anything catch you off guard here? I'm really excited about that end number, man.
Oh, yeah, LVN, that's exciting to see that because he's continuing to improve every single week. The thing caught me off guard is I was just, talking bad about TJ Slayton and the run fits.
Right.
Here he is sitting at number 5 on our list, making me look foolish once again. So that's good. Interesting to see this breakdown too, because we're going to need that tomorrow for sure. And Edgerrin Cooper, good old Coop, man. I want to see that snap count doubled. Hopefully tomorrow is the step in that direction. I certainly think you're going to see an increase in his snap counts week to week, especially if he remains healthy and continues to play well when he is out there. You see him get called and he's out on the field and he makes a play. He got in on that sack last week and, blowing up the line and things like this. Like, he's going to get more looks, and it doesn't matter who they're going to move around, whether it's Quay or they, maybe they take some snaps away from Zay McDuffie. Who knows? But Edgerrin Cooper needs to see the field more, particularly in these run fits too. Seeing him there at number 7 with only 15 snaps.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt about it. So let's, since we kind of got an idea of who's playing pretty well as far as run stop percentage, let's now see if we can jump into another statistic here. Let's see if we can get into some pass coverage and kind of see who's sticking out when it comes to the defensive pass coverage. Specifically, I want to see linebacker. Let's just go. Let's go coverage in general here, and kind of see where everything lines up. Let's hop over here. Let's take everybody off but the backers. Okay, let's see. Actually, yeah, let's just keep the backers up there. Let's see who's really starting to emerge in this regard. And I like to go passer rating when targeted. Eric Wilson, 61.1. Quay Walker, 90.5. Edgerrin Cooper, 95.8. Isaiah McDuffie, 138.4. The reason I wanted to look at it, I'm not here to dog McDuffie, but Tim, what's keeping Edgerrin Cooper off the field? Obviously, it's the glaring problem is he doesn't have a full grab of the defense yet. Matt LaFleur mentioned it in the media that Edgerrin Cooper has struggled to kind of be in the right spot, get lined up correctly, things like that. You get that ironed out. There's no reason that Isaiah McDuffie, from a numbers standpoint, should be starting in that nickel over Edgerrin Cooper as it sits right now. So, again, 95.8, that's not a great number, passer rating when targeted, but Isaiah McDuffie's 138.4, man, that's absolutely horrible. So just something to kind of keep an eye on there. I think we got to get Cooper in the lineup, like you said, man. He doesn't have to play every snap. Yep. But like you said, maybe increase it 10 more snaps, something like that, right?
I think you're right, though. I mean, you might have just cracked the code here. Why we're seeing, Zay McDuffie continuing to get these snaps is here's a guy who's been in this, not in this system, but, he's been on the team a little bit longer. He's been a pro a lot longer than Edgerrin Cooper. And if it's taking Coop a little bit of time, this is the way you get him more snaps, right? You put him in situationally, you give him an assignment, you tell him to go out and execute. He does a good job. You stack another snap on that in another situation. Hopefully he continues to do a good job, and you kind of walk, crawl before you walk before you run. And before you know it, he's got a full grasp of this defense, and he can go out there and pin his ears back and, do what he came here to do. I think week to week we are going to see more snaps for him, but it's just a matter of him really, like you said, grasping what we're trying to do in this Hafley system. Because it's one thing to be fast, athletic, aggressive, and talented, but if you're not in the right spot, it's not going to do us any justice.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. So just interesting to kind of see how the backers are shaping up there. What's another statistic you'd like to see, Tim, as far as like, all right, we talked about, the running game and then the passing game on defense from the defensive line and the linebacker perspective. What would you like to see? Is there anything it can be offense too? Any statistic at all? Like maybe we've kind of hit already yesterday on cornerbacks in man and zone coverage, right? And how Jaws struggled in man. He's played really, really well in zone. Is there anything else you'd like to see us hit on here?
What about the safeties? Is there anything we could break down with
let's do it.
Safeties.
All right. So if we're doing let's start with coverage. Actually, let's just hit coverage here. So passer rating when targeted, this is all coverages, both man and zone. We can break it down individually if we wanted to. We'll just kind of keep it simple. Xavier McKinney, passer rating when targeted, 28.1. It's just phenomenal.
Wow.
Look at Evan Williams, bro. And again, I hate how this lines up sometimes, but I want to see how many snaps he gets here. Only 18 coverage snaps, okay? But still 56.3. Yep. And you see Javon Bullard struggling, 116.0, right? And the worst part of his was definitely man coverage. It's like 20, or I'm sorry, it was well over 100 for it. And the zone coverage, passer rating when targeted, was a lot better. But kind of the numbers there kind of want to see Evan Williams a little bit. You know what I mean? It feels like it was a lifetime ago that we were all talking about. We got to get him on the field there when it came to preseason and training camp. How he was just absolutely dominating.
Yeah, it could be a similar situation with Evan Williams, like we just talked about with Edrin Cooper. These are rookie guys. Maybe Evan Williams is not quite 100% grasping these concepts, and they have to pepper him in little by little. As far as the compare and contrast to Javon Bullard, you hit on this a few days ago on the pod. Javon Bullard is, he's a battering ram in that secondary, basically. He's our downhill guy. He's our guy that's going to make those tackles. Especially in some of these run fits, come up and get in there and make a play. As far as coverage, as a coverage safety, that's something that he's got to work on. And I think he's going to continue to improve with that respect, but he may always be tilted more towards, just being a good, solid open field tackler and aggressive back there in the secondary. And I'm okay with that. As long as you're not a liability in coverage, you are playing safety. You are a safety valve, So I think it's just going to take time with him to get those numbers up. And yeah, you look at X there, 28.1. There's a pretty doggone good example of where you want to be. So great to have him here with these rookies back there.
Definitely. If we go to run stop percentage, is probably not the best thing for safeties because they're playing so far away most of the time. But let's just kind of take a look at the run defensive grade. And this is where you see the value with Javon Bullard, man. Javon Bullard run defensive grade is a 78.1. Evan Williams is a 60. Xavier McKinney not grading out that well in run defense. But nonetheless, man, you've seen like the clip that Baldy showed, man. That dude flows to the football really, really well. And again, it doesn't mean you got to agree with everything PFF has. I like to look at the grades. I feel like basically someone for free put together an entire team to grade the tape for me. I'm going to use that as a source, right? It doesn't mean they're correct. It doesn't mean they're always right. It damn sure don't mean they're always wrong either, though. So it's just another metric. But yeah, as far as the run defense goes, run play tackling here, I think the thing that's hurting Xavier McKinney, he has missed 16.7% of the tackles he's attempted. So keep that in mind. Javon Bullard has not missed a tackle yet, Tim. So that is definitely his superpower, no doubt. That's probably why he's staying on the field. And it looks like there's only been 6 run defensive snaps for Evan Williams. So you really don't know what you got there. Although I think we would all agree when we turn on the college tape there, he was a tackling machine, no doubt about it.
That's why I like Javon Bullard so much. Every defense, man, you need a thumper back there. You need a guy like that that's going to lower the boom. You see here, you talk about McKinney. McKinney's kind of struggling. I don't even know if struggling is the right word, but, run defense is not exactly why I think X was brought here to Green Bay. I don't think they put a point of emphasis on his approach to the run defense. If he can get in there and, prevent plays from becoming explosives, that's great. But you want X doing what we've seen him do on tape all year long, which is, covering that whole damn field and making picks and making plays, putting guys in the right position, those kind of things. So, seeing Javon Bullard with this 78.1 run defense grade, that's exactly why we brought that Bulldog here. And it's fun to see. It really is.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's see. Let's look at receiving real quick. That sound good?
Yeesh.
Take a quick little look at receiving. You got receiving versus that. Let's just go receiving in general to start with here, okay? So when it comes to the Packers, let's key in on
now here's some guys.
Yeah, passer rating when targeted, if we could find it here. Where are you at? You gotta be kidding me. Please tell me they got I think it's under rating on this instead of NFL. You see an RTG.
Yeah,
here we go.
Yeah, rating on the right.
All right, so
Scoot.
Looking for all those Christian Watson haters currently. 148.8 leads the Packers in passer rating when targeted. You talking about maximizing your opportunities. My man is zoned in, no doubt. Second, Jaden Reed at 137.5. Tim, Emmanuel Wilson's a great running back. And this is me in the offseason. He's a great running back. He just struggles in the passing game. Passer rating when targeted, 137.1, man, for Emmanuel Wilson. Look at Tucker Kraft continuing to do his thing. 112.5. Romeo Dobbs, 111.9. Josh Jacobs, 90.6. This has been the big surprise. Dontavion Wicks, 79.4, really struggled. Luke Musgrave, man, God, he's having a rough year, bro, 16.7. But, as it sits right now, man, Jaden Reed, your most valuable receiver currently. Christian Watson's about to get this thing going, dude. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, breakout year for Scoot inbound. I can see it. You're right about Tay Wicks. It's I don't know if it's slow start. I don't know if maybe Jordan Love going down and missing these last few games. I don't know if it's maybe the chemistry with Malik Willis just wasn't there. You could definitely see these past two games with Malik under center that Jaden Reed was definitely a security blanket for him. That was a guy he was looking that way a lot. Same thing with Rome and Scoot. So it'll be interesting now with Jordan Love back at the helm to see what happens with number 13 out there. I fully expect Tay Wicks to start to reemerge here as the threat in this offense that we know he is. We know that dude is an explosive play waiting to happen, especially anytime Minnesota shows any kind of zone. I'm looking for Tay Wicks to go there and find that soft spot, sit down and make some catches. So I think it's a matter of time before he gets going, but feel good about our receivers. Luke Musgrave there at the bottom, that's a little disconcerting, like you said, especially considering that I've always looked at him as kind of a big receiver more than a true tight end. I think Tuck Norris is our all around true, I call him the Swiss Army knife tight end because he is, but Musgrave, you want to see some improvement here in the pass game for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Just taking a quick look at Christian Watson, obviously first couple games graded out kind of bad, 76 on this last one. And dude, he's been blocking his ass off, man. Gotta love the way he's blocking when it comes to the run game, no doubt. Let's see here. The other thing I wanted to see, let's go receiving versus scheme. All right. And let's see how each receiver is doing versus man versus zone. I'm pretty sure I've got the right one here. Yeah. So man coverage comes up first. And when we go rating against man coverage for the Green Bay Packers, Christian Watson has absolutely cooked man coverage, 158.3. All right, Tucker Kraft, 97.9. Romeo Dobbs, 97.9. Marshawn Lloyd, 79.2, along with Emmanuel Wilson. Jaden Reed, 47.9. Tim, this is exactly what happened last year. You remember? Jaden Reed destroyed zone coverage and kind of, I don't want to say he struggled, but he wasn't targeted as much against man coverage. So it's kind of the same thing's kind of playing out again this year. So it seems like against a heavy man coverage team, you want to look for Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs to have big games, just for all the fantasy owners out there. And then maybe stay away from Reed a little bit. Now, granted, when you're in man coverage, it's going to open up some of those reverses and things. And then if we were to hop over real quick to zone, don't be surprised if all of a sudden Jaden Reed goes through the roof there. Looky here, 155.8 against zone. So, I mean, it checks out. It really does. And the one guy who's performing well against both is definitely Christian Watson at 109.7, right?
Yeah, I tell you, they want to sugar Harrison Smith down there in the box pre-snap. Go ahead and flex Scoot inside and have him just run and go. And go ahead, Mr. Smith. See if you can catch up to Scoot. I doubt it's going to happen.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And that's the thing. There's big plays to be had unless they change their scheme up. You know, who's to say that Brian Flores, who learned from the best as far as adjusting to your weekly opponent, you know, learning from Bill Belichick, who knows, he may come out and play a vanilla defense, stay in shell, and not even show blitz, right? I have a hard time believing it because they're having so much success right now, but that could definitely be on the table as well, no doubt. So it's exciting to see some of these guys and just how well they're playing. I'm going to go to running real quick because I want to see it's not going to show against man, I don't believe. Yeah, we're not going to have that information. I was going to say, how does our boy Jaden Reed look running against man and zone? Of course, they don't even have Jaden Reed on this list, do they? Oh, it's just back fullback. Here we go. Let's do this. Let's remove the fullback.
Yeah.
Non-running back. Here we go. Bang.
There he is, number 2.
Boom. Running grade. Jaden Reed, 77.8. He's just about caught up with Josh Jacobs. That's wild, man.
I wonder if Bird played a little tailback in high school or something at one point because he's dynamic back there.
Yeah, my guess is that guy is probably the best on every team he's ever played on. You know, basketball, anything. To be honest with you.
Yep.
Just trying to get a glance at some of these statistics real quick, if there's anything. So there's the elusiveness rating, right? Damn, Bo Melton a 450. My God, I don't even know what that means, but it's got to be good. Jaden Reed, 186.7. One of the things I like about Next Gen Stats is showing that yards over expected. There's got to be something here, too. I'm wondering if that might be the YCO. Let's see what YCO is. Yards after contact, so very similar, right? So when it comes to yards after contact per attempt, Malik Willis. You'd love to see it. Jaden Reed, there you go, man. 7 yards. He's averaging 7 yards after contact per rushing attempt. And, of course, far fewer rushes than Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, 3.37. Emmanuel Wilson, a 3.10. So pretty solid stuff there. Is Marshawn Lloyd active tomorrow, Tim, or he's on IR?
No, he's on IR, I believe. Yeah.
I keep looking forward to seeing him back on the field. But, man, I tell you, Emmanuel Wilson, go make your money, dude. Go make your freaking money. You know what I'm saying? Have a big year. And I think the Packers still have his rights next year, but you're setting yourself up to get at least one good payday. And coming from an undrafted free agent, bro, that's huge, you know?
Yeah, we had good feelings about him last season. And, you know, this year it's great to see him healthy and active and, you know, a big part of this offense. You got to love it. He's a perfect complement to Josh Jacobs, really is.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so there you go. Just like I said, a couple of cool stats there just to kind of see how everybody's shaking out. Let's go slot coverage, and let's get crazy with it here, Tim. Let's remove the Green Bay filter. Let's go slot coverage across the entire NFL, and let's see who's really performed. Let's see how our boy Keyshawn Nixon's shaking out when it comes to playing slot corner across the league. Let's see what the passer rating when targeted and where he ranks. I haven't even looked at this. I'm interested to see where he falls. So leading the way is Tre'Davious White. I didn't even know he was playing slot in LA. That's interesting. 39.7. So that's kind of the bar. 39.7 passer rating when targeted out of the slot. Okay. And boy, Carson Beck looks like absolute dookie tonight. Sorry, I got distracted there. Let's see where our boy is. Where's Keyshawn? Is he really that low? I felt like he's played pretty damn well this year. Here he is. So he's 55th amongst slot corners. And when I say slot corners, it's taking into consideration every cornerback who has slot snaps. Now let's see if we can get the total number of slot snaps or coverage. So coverage, let's try to set it a realistic expectation here. You see all these lower numbers. And Keyshawn has, how many was it here? Where's he at again?
55. He's 55? At 55, yeah.
So he's got 85 coverage snaps. So let's set it. I don't want to skew it too far in his favor. Let's set it to 20. That sound good to you, Tim? Let's go 20 coverage snaps from the slot, and let's see where he shakes out now, passer rating when targeted. Because some of those guys just had like 7, 8 snaps, right?
Right.
So when you do that, Keyshawn is sitting at
28.
Yeah, so at a 103.8. Interesting, really, really interesting there. And again, he's actually played better man coverage than zone coverage, which is.
I honestly think Keyshawn is a guy that is, if he ever said he doesn't pay attention to what's being said about him, don't believe him, because he's very in tune to the Twitterverse and social media.
I think didn't he get off of Twitter too? Am I thinking right?
He might have for a while. Sometimes guys do that, especially during the season. But I know throughout camp and going into this year, there was a lot of smack being talked about Keyshawn. And I say that raising my own hand. I was a part of that group too, talking about his play in the slot, right?
Right.
And I got to think that I wonder if he took that to the best players take that criticism and things like that, and they turn it into a positive. And I wonder if that kind of lit a fire under him a little bit, because he's playing better than expected, I think, so far this year. Like you said, especially in the man coverage situations, which was honestly something that we saw him struggle with last season. Stepping up, having to not necessarily play press, but being close to the line and having a one-on-one assignment. He was getting roasted last year. And this year we haven't seen it. We've seen him make some good tackles too. Tackling has improved. So Keyshawn is proving the haters wrong, and you love to see it.
Yeah, definitely. So as we get ready to wrap up, appreciate everybody hanging out, man. We got a bunch of people in here tonight. Thank you all so much for making us part of your Saturday evening. If you would give us a like on your way out, we appreciate that greatly. We did kind of a game plan breakdown earlier in the week, just to give you guys a quick recap of some of the things that I came up with as far as game planning for this Minnesota Vikings game. The big thing for me is understanding what they're comfortable running. They're in cover 2 zone 26% of the time. That's second most in the league. They're in cover 4 zone 25% of the time. That's sixth most in the league. They're in cover 0 10% of the time. That is leading the league. So they run more cover 0 blitz than anyone else in the league. Keep in mind, it's only 10% of the time they pick their spots. The other thing, too, is the EPA. The EPA allowed in 2x2 sets, which simply means two receivers. Keep in mind, could be a tight end and a receiver. Could be 2 tight ends. Could be a receiver tight end. But basically 2x2 sets. Their EPA allowed is 0.02 in the positive, so that's 16th best in the league. A little bit of a weakness, so look for Matt LaFleur to maybe run a little more 12 than we have here lately. You want to avoid 3x1 sets, meaning trips and tray left. Avoid that. Their EPA is 6. EPA allowed is minus 0.27, which is 6th best in the league. Go 1x3, which is trips and tray right, is a minus 0.11. That's 14th best in the league. So you want to attack trips and tray right. It doesn't mean you're going to line up there pre-snap. Maybe start with a 2x2 set, motion over to trips and tray right. And the same thing, start off in trips and tray right, motion over to 2x2. Those are the two things they struggle with the most. Against 12 personnel, minus 0.02 in EPA allowed. That's 19th best in the league. So really press in to 12 personnel, 2x2 sets is what I'm looking at. Kind of that, what I call 12 balance. So you'll probably come out 12 tray right and then motion one of the tight ends over, gather some information, and settle in at 2x2. Big matchup, in my opinion, Jaden Reed in the slot versus Murphy Jr. in the slot. To me, you want to exploit the hell out of that matchup when you are throwing the football, okay? So that's the big thing, 12 balance, we talked about, all those things. Tuesday players on defense, safety Harrison Smith, dog, got to know where 22 is all day long. Edge defender, he's kind of a hybrid. He'll play stack too, but he blitzes a lot, is Van Ginkel. He's a stud. And then linebacker Blake Cashman, they signed in free agency, is an absolute dog too. You got to know where those three guys are at all times. Now, when we switch to the defensive side of the ball, this is the Vikings offense, okay? They like to run 11 personnel 62.3% of the time. That's 18th most in the league, kind of middle of the pack. 12 personnel 20.4% of the time. That's 16th most in the league, middle of the pack. And then, of course, 21 personnel, they run at 15% of the time. That's 6th most in the league. So you're going to see some two-back sets, and you got to be ready to stop that run when it comes to Aaron Jones out of the two-back sets. As far as EPA, 12 personnel, when they're in 12 personnel, they're in it 20% of the time. EPA is 0.35, second best in the league. Very, very effective out of 12. 21 personnel, 0.01 EPA, that's 11th best. 11 personnel, 0.06 EPA, 14th best. They have the most success out of 1x3 sets, meaning trips and tray right, same as us, and 2x2. In the trips and tray right, they're second in EPA in the league. 2x2 sets balance, they're third in EPA in the league. And 2x1 sets, they're not an EPA in the league. What they really like to do from a tendency standpoint, they love to run left. They're having a lot of success running left. So make sure you're cheating a half a gap to the left. Let's contain the run on the left. Pressure the quarterback from the right. He loves to throw the football to the right. So if you're going to pressure, if you're going to dial up a 5-man rush, bring it off the right side and make him go to his left. That's what you want to do. Same as it was last week with Will Levis. They're Tuesday players. It goes without saying, but Justin Jefferson, wide receiver, halfback Aaron Jones, and obviously quarterback Sam Darnold. The way you want to attack those guys, obviously cheat left on Aaron Jones in a running game. Justin Jefferson, I didn't have time to do it, but I'm sure the coaching staff did. Find his top 5 routes that he's had success the first 3 games of the year. Figure out how they incorporate that route into their passing concepts and their route combinations, and try to, draw up something, whether it's a Mabel look on the outside or if you want to cheat inside with some Tampa 2 to take away his most comfortable routes. That's the way to go. And just get the pressure in Sam Darnold's lap. That's it. So last week, Tim, huge win against Houston, Minnesota had. They won the middle 8. Well, the middle 8 was tied, but they ended up scoring with 10:22 left in the third. Might as well have been the middle 8. You're just about 30 seconds off there, 30, whatever it was, 38 seconds off. And they won the turnover differential 2-0. We showed you guys those 2 interceptions on Next Gen Stats. That was mistakes by the offense. It wasn't like a defense did something all world. We can win this damn football game, Tim, no doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have full confidence. This is going to be a hell of a game. It could go one of 2 ways. It could be a grinder or it could be a shootout, right? I think it's going to be close. I don't see a boat race either way, but again, we respect this opponent, but we're not gonna fear them at all. I think we go right at them all day long. We can get it done.
Yeah, good stuff, man. All right, Fred McFarley, man, just seen it, buddy. Thank you so much for the dono there, Val. You are the man. We appreciate you. So yeah, man, I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun game. We'll be doing a pregame show. Let's end it here in the chat real quick. Dave's MX6 says, "LOL, the JJ tweet about the turf," and I tweeted at the U.S. Bank. One of the worst that the taxpayers had to pay to replace theirs, the chef's kiss. This is what they're talking about. Justin Jefferson earlier said, preparing for Lambeau Field's conditions, quote, "They don't have the best field. Definitely have to make sure I have the right cleats on to make sure I'm not falling or slipping out there." Sound like somebody already making excuses, Tim.
Sound like another one of those dome merchants out there playing a dome, bruh.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Absolutely hilarious, man.
I like it. I saw your tweet earlier. Yeah, he's lining it up already.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's looking at the tape.
Run the footage you had that we played a few minutes ago of the grounds crew putting the striping on Lambeau, right. nice and clean and ready. I don't know if JJ's aware it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Probably no moisture on that field. It'll be a good day for football. A noon game under the sun. So yeah, I don't want to hear excuses about the turf. Absolutely. Nothing could be as close to as terrible as what the Packers played on in Sao Paulo in week 1. So, hey.
Definitely. Fred McFarley said, "Thanks, Tim and Clayton. Hit the like and super chat. It be well." Appreciate you, Fred. Again, thank you for the super chat, bud. We appreciate you. Chris Ian, been a member for 6 months. Valentine's going to ball out, y'all. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if he shuts JJ down again.
Shout out to Nick McSwain in the chat. I don't know if we want to put that on the screen, but I love it. I love that energy, Nick.
Let's see here. Yeah, we can put that up there. Right? Oh, well, yeah, we could do that. Nick McSwain says he sounds like a biatch. So there you go. All right. Oh. And I love everybody's. J. Cole is my spirit animal, Tim.
Yeah,
I went,
what the hell is he talking about? What is he talking about anyway?
It's the best surface in the league. Nick comes back and says he's going to hit the ref with his helmet again.
Oh man, I love it. I love it, man. So there you go, guys. We'll wrap it up there. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Tim, you got anything else, bub? No, see you guys out there pregame tomorrow, man. Gonna enjoy it. And go Pack, go. Let's get the dub. And no Lambeau leaps for Aaron Jones tomorrow. Let's keep him out of the end zone.
Exactly. That's exactly right, man. When he tries to jump in that crowd, if he does,
sit your butt outside.
knows right there. All right. So appreciate y'all. We will see you tomorrow.
10:30 Central.
10:30 Central, Lambeau time there. So we'll be going live for the pregame show. Really, really appreciate everybody. Again, one last shout out to everyone. Brent in Indiana with the super chat, Fred McFarley with the super chat, Chris M been a member now for 6 months, and a newest member, Andrew Petro. I hope I'm saying that right, or Petro. Either way, man. Appreciate you becoming a YouTube member here, pal. And that's the other thing too. All the YouTube members, all the Patreon members, we're going to put everybody on the wheel of the Larry McCarron Pinky wheel tomorrow. We're going to spin it and give away, I believe it's an autographed Robert Brooks jersey. I'll get confirmation there for the pregame, but we're going to be giving that away tomorrow night. That's going to be a lot of fun. So,
awesome.
That being said, Tim, help me out here, man.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us. Thank you for making us part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack Go.